To be able to just say straight up, I'm a dad, I stay home with the kids, that was hard. So I think that was a big signal for me that even though in my head I'd made the decision, my heart hadn't yet caught up.
Right.
And it took some years actually before I was able to say, you know what, I am a stay-home dad and I'm really, really happy.
Hey guys, welcome back to The Situation Report. I'm one of your hosts, Tanisha, joined by Carla and JK. So we've heard about housewives, stay-at-home moms, but how much do we know about stay-at-home dads? So today we're going to be exploring a little bit about that with stay-at-home dad Andrew Chu. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you become a stay-at-home dad? What work were you doing before that?
So about 23 years ago, I was working in film and TV production. And that kind of segued into photography. So I was working basically for myself at around the time my wife and I decided, hey, we've got 3 kids. They're all quite young. And, it might be a good idea for one of us to stay home with them. Mm-hmm. My wife's a doctor with an iron rice bowl. So it was, and we know how well paid photographers, artists are. Right?
Oh, so well paid.
I know, right? So it was a really hard decision to make.
Man.
But in the end, I drew the short straw. And but no, it was quite natural to make that decision because obviously there was the job security that Jen had as well, my wife. And because my hours were flexible to start with, I was already at the time, spending a lot of time with the kids, driving them around and taking them from place to place, spending time with them anyway. So it just seemed, the next logical step for me to be a stay-home dad.
How old were the children when you decided to be a stay-at-home dad?
Okay, I think the oldest it was about 7 or 8, and the youngest, they're twins, were 3 or 4.
Right.
Yes.
Ooh.
So high needs.
It is tough,
stage.
That's super hard. Did you have a helper?
We did have a helper. Yes, we did have a helper.
But still, I mean, with twins, I can't imagine how one
And
person can.
the 7 years old do things, homework and all that. You got to do that as well, right?
Yeah,
Like, it's part of the job.
that's right. I mean, we had very good helper, and also my mom and dad were very close by.
Nice.
But we wanted to raise the kids. So that's what we decided to do. We decided that, one of us should, with 3 kids, one of us really should be at home, at least for this season of life. So yeah, that's what we decided.
And you were a stay-home dad for how long? Are you still a stay-home dad now?
Yes, still a
So
stay-home
it's been
dad.
23 years?
No, not quite.
Oh,
No,
okay.
not quite. So about 13 years. About
13 years?
Yeah, 13 years.
That's a
And
good
counting.
amount of time.
And still counting.
So
Still
how
going.
old are your kids now?
The oldest is 20.
Okay.
And she's at university, so she's my first graduate from stay-at-home dad program.
Left the nest.
Yes, left the nest. And the youngest 2 are doing their O-levels this year, so they're 16.
Oh,
So
crunch
do you,
time.
Are
Yeah.
you the tuition teacher as well?
I was until they finished primary school.
Right.
Then after that, no.
You're not qualified anymore.
I bet when you read the textbooks, you're like,
Oh,
I
no.
don't know this.
Yeah. No.
Outsource this.
Yes, that's right. I think somebody else better do this.
Yes.
Okay.
As I'm not the same boat as him, but sort of similar. Like my job is quite flexible, so
Yep.
I'm sending the kids to school, picking them up,
Yep.
prepare the dinner and meals and all that. Which is the toughest for you? Like teaching, picking them up, or of all the stay-at-home dad duties, what is the toughest, most challenging?
I think the toughest, I left that behind in primary school, fortunately. It was the teaching them English and science, the expectations versus the reality of, what they were ready to do, what they were willing to do, and kind of managing the...
You haven't got that yet? Carla. So I tried that, right? And I left it to my wife. So now I do everything else. I do laundry, I do the picking up, the sending, the cooking, but she does strictly the education part. Cannot.
That must be hard.
It's the toughest. It is the toughest.
And I'm sure because for your kids, they look at you as a parental figure, and
Yeah.
now all of a sudden they have to look at you as a teacher as well. And it's so hard to distinguish between why are you making me sit here and do
Yes.
this when I've just done it for like 6 hours in school.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm home. I want to have fun with you,
Yeah.
right? Like, isn't that why you're a stay-home dad, right? Aren't we supposed to have fun? So
Yeah.
I feel like that would be a big struggle for me.
I think that's when I learned the difference between growth and expectations. My oldest one, in the early years, it was really hard. There were some tensions and things like that between the two of us because I had certain expectations, not so much academic, but the way you behave, the way you act, your manners, the way you conduct yourself, and that just led to a lot of tension and friction. So much so that after one meltdown, my wife said, "Okay, I'll give you a choice. You can either go and see a counselor or an exorcist. Up to you."
To you or to me? I thought this was to your child.
No, to me, because I was getting my expectations were, so I was getting mad and getting angry and things like that, right? So I chose the counselor. I think exorcist maybe later. Hopefully the counselor. And what I learned, the most important thing I learned was the difference between growth and expectations. With expectations, it's binary, isn't it? You have an expectation, you either meet it and exceed or not. But I guess I learned to look at all my children about growth. Are you growing? And often the time of greatest growth is actually when they stumble, when they fail, when they're not doing well. That's the opportunity to help them grow.
Yeah.
So once I could see that, once that penny dropped, it made all the difference in the world, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
And you have 3 girls.
Yes,
Right.
3 girls.
So how is that dynamic as well? Being a father, a stay-at-home father for 3 girls, especially because I guess that age is also very important for puberty and stuff like that.
I love it. I think it's an amazing experience to have had 3 girls. It forced me to learn how to listen and not to jump in to try to fix things. But I realized early on that they want someone to be there, to be available, to be emotionally present, to listen to them. So again, once I realized that, then it became about spending time, listening, and being intentional about it. When you drive someone to and from school, right, you've got maybe 15, 20 minutes, one way, either way. So actually in a day, just going to school, coming back from school, you've got about half an hour. You add it up in the course of 5 days, it's about 3 hours of time. So if you're not on the phone or, just tuning out, but you're actually talking and things like that, it's a lot of time to listen to one another, to talk. So, so I think that's the big thing, just learning to listen.
A lot of the women who are friends with me on Instagram, a lot of they're like men-hating women, like because they have been hurt by men who are not present fathers. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So you are a very present father. I like to think I'm a semi-present, try my best, to be around father. Why do you think a lot of the other dads out there aren't as, say, committed, or they leave everything else to the mom to do, leave everything else to the maid to do? Like, how do we get more men? Because one thing that is, not say annoying me, but diaper commercial, milk powder commercial.
It's women heavy.
It's always women, no fathers, Then you want the men to be part of it.
I mean, you call it mothering, right?
Like
it's termed as mothering.
But then a lot of women always complain, "Oh, the father never helped." But then all the baby wipes commercial,
It's always
always
the
a
woman.
mom, So how do we get dads to step up, like you? I want to say like us, but I'm not like him. He's more, like you. How do we get?
I
dads
don't know.
to
You're
step up?
assuming that
Yeah.
I'm a present dad. I'm not sure, but you could ask the kids.
Yeah, but how
That's
do
a
we get
separate
the
episode, I
dads
guess.
to step up?
I think all I can say is what made things easier for me to step into this role, because there's definitely a loss of identity. As a guy, your career is really important. So I think you need both the support of definitely your wife, most of all, actually, to be able to let the guy let go of it. Because, I think, women, I may be generalizing, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's important for them too. Oh, my husband is, so and so. He's a, big guy in this company and things like that. It's important. And for a guy not to have anything like, my husband stays at home with the kids, they lose something too, right?
What was the reaction like? Yeah, I wanted to ask, what's the reaction? I know it's a sensitive question. Like when, like her family or your family, when
Or
they
even
say,
friends.
or friends, you stay home. Like, was that the reaction? Or, you stay at home? What was the reaction?
Yeah, so no, they were really supportive actually.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think that's the first thing, if you ask me. It's not a decision that you make on your own.
Right.
It's a decision that happens within a context. And if that context is supportive, it is so much easier. But if, there are raised eyebrows everywhere, it's like, you want to stay at home? Why? Then it's very difficult. Then it's very,
So,
very
like when you bring your kids out, in what I assume, well, I should not say assume, but usually it's actually when I bring my kids out, it's always a mother and child dominated environment. When
Yeah.
I go to indoor playgrounds,
Yes,
I go to the
yes.
zoos. What's it like for you?
Same.
Right.
I mean, it's exactly the same. I mean, I think it's better, but now, and also my kids are older, so it's a bit different. But I think 12 or 13 years ago when I first started, it was more unusual. So, I still remember this incident when at school, I've been picking up the girls for quite a long time by then. And there was a grandpa. So grandpas, grandmas, they're there, right, picking up children as well. And this grandpa, for a few days, had been kind of like want to come close, step back and all that. I could tell. But finally, that day, he mustered the courage to come up. And it was not a good day for me. I think I was just tired or whatever. He said, actually, what do you do? How come you can pick up like that, right?
What a triggering question.
I know. And I just wanted to say something narky like, it's because you're absolutely loaded. That's why we can do this, Which we're not, by the way. Which I didn't. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a lot better now. But I think it will always be... if you're a dad with young children, taking them out, you will always be the odd one out.
It's interesting because usually when you think of like stereotypically, mothers are the ones who care and fathers are the ones that discipline, right? So I guess also going back to the whole thing about loss of identity and stuff.
Yep.
Did you ever have to kind of like, deal with that sort of like masculine, like the toxic masculinity of like, having to like, okay, I'm not working now, but I'm staying at home with the kids. Was there ever that sort of struggle?
There was, for sure. It wasn't really huge,
Yeah.
but there was definitely a struggle, for sure. For the longest time, after I decided to, cross the Rubicon, really go to the other side and decide to be a stay-at-home dad and, put the photography away for a season at least, I found it really, really hard to tell people when they asked, what do you do? To say I'm a stay-at-home dad. I was always tempted to say I'm in film and I'm a photographer, or I was in film and TV. It kind of hedged my bets. So to be able to just say straight up, I'm a dad, I stay home with the kids, that was hard. So I think that was a big signal for me that even though in my head I'd made the decision, my heart hadn't yet caught up.
Right.
And it took some years actually before I was able to say, you know what? I am a stay-at-home dad, and I'm really, really happy being one. Yeah. So yes, there was that struggle.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what would you say are like the differences, in your opinion, the differences between a stay-at-home dad and a stay-at-home mom from
That's a good question.
what you've seen?
I think stay-at-home moms have a bigger community because there are a lot more. I remember one gathering. It was, I can't remember whether it was just a dinner or something at my in-laws' place, and a lot of people there. And the mums had gathered around and they were talking about the best place to get white school shoes. Right? And the men were talking, IPOs, refinancing deals, business class lounges.
Where were you? Which group?
With the mom.
So I
He was leading the conversation.
Not quite actually, but I was, making my way from one space to another, getting a drink or something. And when I heard the conversation, the mom's conversation, I said, you should try Queensway. Queensway, there are some shops there. I think SAS Sports, they've got a good range, but you got to go at a certain time because after, if you go a bit late, then the sizes are gone.
How does he know that?
Yeah. So, but that's a bit of an outlier because it's a bit weird, if I'm a guy and I try to be part of a stay-at-home moms community.
Yeah.
It's strange in every direction, I feel, as well. So I think that's one thing, at least for me. But in terms of relationship with the children, then you got to be a bit of both. I think it goes back to that listening part. I had to learn how to be that, not be functional only, but to think about what they need, to learn how to read between the lines.
Right.
I think especially for girls, that's really
That's true.
yeah. I think
Has raising your kids or being so active in their life also affected your relationship with your wife?
Yeah.
Like, were you able to understand her a little bit better because maybe now you're confronted with things that maybe were brought up in your relationship with her, but now as a dad, you can't really fight it. You just have to adapt to it,
Yep.
right? Because that's what the offspring needs from you.
The opposite.
The
Yeah,
offspring.
I'm just really curious, right?
Well, I think it's. I'm more aware, definitely, of the teamwork that raising a child requires. It's really, really difficult to do it alone. Or even do it in two separate silos. There needs to be so much communication.
Yeah.
And it's also, I see the children one way. I know them very well. I spend so much time with them. But they'll always surprise me. They are always ultimately a mystery, right? But the same thing with Jen too. She sees the children from her own perspective. And it's only, I think, I find when both come together that you've got the most full picture, the most full understanding. Even though I know maybe the children the best because I spend the most hours with them, she has a perspective that I need. And I have a perspective that she needs to understand the children. So coming together, that's what I learned. That, you really, really need each other.
Right.
For that.
That's so nice. Though.
Okay, so-
that gives me hope. It should give you hope too.
Can't wait for them to grow up.
I just want to go back to the stigma part a little bit. Were there any misconceptions about being a stay-at-home dad that you had to deal with? Based on the reactions of other people. You mentioned about that story of the old grandpa.
Yeah,
Are there
yeah.
any other things that you had to deal with because of that? So maybe, for example, speaking to teachers and stuff. For parent-teacher conferences or whatever, you are usually
Yes,
the
yes.
person who's present.
Yes,
Were they oh,
yes.
is the mother coming? Did you have to experience anything like that?
No, fortunately not. But there have been a few funny incidences where the phone call when there is a parent that needs to be contacted is always goes
the
to the mom.
It pisses me off.
No,
pisses me off.
it
Yeah.
by default goes to the
Yeah.
mom. Right? It goes to
It's
the default.
annoying. Okay.
Even though
Yeah.
if there is a contact list, who's the main contact
Right,
person?
it's always the
is
mom.
mine there. Yeah, they'll go to the mom, right? Yeah. So JK, you find that too.
I
is
pick
it?
up my kids. I send them to school. The teachers always see me,
It's
right?
always you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything. Oh, my son has a fever. They always call the mother. When my son forgot something, always call the mother.
Going back to your question, Tanisha, I think it's more in my own head, right?
right.
People are polite enough and controlled enough not to act in most cases like that old uncle who couldn't wait to ask me the question. But, I think I had to learn how to deal with the voices in my own head. Oh, what do other people think about me? Those guys who are there discussing, IPOs and, funds, business class lounges, all that kind of stuff. They are polite, but what do they really think about me?
Yeah.
Right? So it's the voices in my own head.
Right.
And I had to eventually come to a point and say to myself, does it matter?
Yeah.
Maybe only to me. And even if they really do think like that, does it really matter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
So
you're there for the kids, man. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you're a present dad.
Yep,
And
yep.
they're probably not.
Yeah. Well, no judgment on
Yeah,
their
right,
part,
right.
but I've made the decision, and I've lost something, but I've gained a ton as well.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So my question is, once this season is done, once the two small ones are like, bye dad, we want to go off and like, see the world.
Yep.
What do you want to do?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question.
Travel with my wife. They are already like, huh? You're going traveling without us on holiday? I said, yes.
Travel with kids.
Yeah, it's true.
Nice.
But it's a good question. I've been discerning that. I've been thinking about what that picture might look like in about 2 years' time. When the youngest, then really going to go to uni and things like that. And I think it looks like photography back again. And but in the meantime, still discerning about what to do, because the world has moved on also, and the start again will really need to be something quite new, I think, because you can't just pick up where you left off. It's so long ago already. So yeah, I'm using this time to actually seriously think about it. Yeah.
I got a two-parter question, though. Like to go back to this, stay-at-home dad. Which is your favorite part about being a stay-at-home dad? And then which is your least favorite?
I think the favorite part is those, the amount of time that I spend with the children means that there are more opportunities for really unplanned, very spontaneous moments of bonding and conversation. I remember, after the end of a long day, just catching up with one of my twins, just watching TV. And one thing that we started talking about then led into something really deep and really, really important, actually. Something that she had been meaning to ask, and I was able to share and just speak into her life at that point in time. So, how we are always running on, let's do things which are urgent, because there's no time, or there's so little time. Urgent trumps important, right? But with enough time, then you can also fit in what's important. And sometimes what's important is not actually urgent, right? So that would be my favorite. Those really spontaneous, unexpected moments of, hey, there's time, let's...
Because you're
have a cup of
present,
coffee.
you're present
Correct.
as a dad.
There lah.
Yeah.
There. Yeah, that's
And
right.
that's very precious as well.
It is super, super precious. Yeah, super, super.
And then least favorite or most challenging besides teaching?
And then since that's gone already, needing to have hard conversations.
Oh, so you are the go-to parent for like the conversations.
In that sense, yeah. I mean, I would if I observe something that needs to be pointed out, that needs to be discussed and addressed, then there's like, okay, what's the best time to do it? How do I do it? What do I say?
Someone with girl, like my daughter, like 'cause I have one son and one daughter.
Yeah, yeah.
My daughter is, I'm sorry, a nightmare. And she's only like 6
Daddy
years
loves
old.
you. Daddy loves you. I'm sure. I'm
She
sure.
doesn't love me. I feel it. Yeah.
I have one other question. I know you can't speak for your wife,
Yep.
Jen, but how did she feel about being the one who's working? Like, was she ever confronted with like, oh, I'm a workaholic and I'm neglecting the kids?
No, because she only works part time.
What kind of doctor is she?
She's a pediatrician, so that helps. A developmental pediatrician
Wow.
too.
It's
So,
like, oh, well, 5 minutes, $500. Sorry, that's not
Not
the bill
quite.
I paid last time. Yeah.
she works for government, so
Oh,
you know.
okay, all right,
yeah,
right. Because
yeah.
the private PD expensive, man.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
they can
yeah.
be. So no, she didn't have to worry about that so much because she's already spending time with the girls and
Right.
things like that. But I think, as I said, I think she's very secure. Totally fine with her husband being the stay-at-home dad. I know that that's not the case all the time for everyone. So I'm very, very blessed in that respect. And I think she's I think this being secure helps because she's also had to let go of being the go-to person when school calls or someone needs to find out about the kids and things like that. Eventually, people learn it's me. Not for everything certainly, but for some things. So I'm very fortunate in that sense that we never had that battle.
I have a sensitive question to ask. I'm not sure if it's insensitive. So, like, how do the finances work?
Okay.
Like, do you I need this? Do you say that to her, or how does it work?
No, that's a very, very good
Right?
question.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I think maybe for most couples in my situation, that's, you're right, can be the most sensitive part. I have a small flat that I rent out. So that's my income.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Not bad.
So that helps that I've
Right.
got a sort of my own income stream. It's not a lot. So the family finances, you just have to agree that this is what comes out of the family pool, and this is for my electric guitar, my tennis racket, that kind of stuff.
Pedal, pickleball.
Yeah,
all
but
this.
what we've always done is to not have separate accounts. All our accounts are joint, so that there is this sense of trust and openness, which really I think is very important. Different couples do it differently. I know I've got another friend who's
Sorry, everything is joint.
Huh?
So everything is joint, like the accounts. So if you buy like a Starbucks, you'll know. And if you know what I mean?
yeah, man,
Like,
don't play.
like you go for a $50 massage at HDB. You know? No, I'm serious. Like really, it's not everything's joint.
yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's called trust.
Yeah. So I mean, it's
But she's not checking everything, lad.
no.
Yeah, right.
I hope not.
Why you do this? Like, no, I'm serious. No.
Bank
I'm serious.
statements.
What have you been doing that you don't want to know?
Like,
Okay, spill the tea. Spill
why
the
you
tea.
go Popeye spend $21 at Popeyes? Like stuff like that.
Send receipt.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right.
No, I think it. So every couple has their own way of doing things, of course. But I think for us, that's just how we've done it. Another couple, very good friends. He happens to be a stay-at-home dad as well.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
Well, like, how big is this community?
Not that big,
I
lah.
thought it was only you. That's
Yeah,
quite
this
interesting.
rare creature. He gets paid a salary.
From who? The wife?
Yes, by the wife.
Whoa.
So they've come to this arrangement, So again, it only works because they've made it work, and she recognizes that you deserve to get paid a certain salary because this is a really, really important
job.
How do I
Yeah,
get my
it's
wife to
right.
pay me for doing all the work I do?
That's so
It's a
interesting.
full-time job.
And honestly,
right?
you would be paying somebody else to do it.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
right.
Man.
Who you maybe trust a little bit less.
Yeah. So I mean, and they don't have a helper, so he really has to do all the work and all that. So he gets paid, and so it works. That's how they work. So I think.
How did he convince his wife to do that? What's going on? How do I convince my wife to do that?
That is a question we'll have to ask him.
I pay for petrol, I pay for the car, I do the laundry, I
So
pay for
actually,
detergent.
my mom did the exact same thing. So my mom was a stay-home mom
Oh.
when we were living in Germany, and she would ask my dad every month an allowance or a salary because if you are giving me the responsibility
Yeah.
of running the house
Yep.
and managing all of the finances.
Yes.
Then I need to know what I'm working with.
That's
know,
right. No, absolutely.
I don't just want to use a credit card and just kind of swipe because that's
This allowance is used for the home, or is it like, okay, if I wanted to buy new shoes, I would use it?
That's right. So for my friend's case, it's a salary. It's
Okay.
not just, this is going to be for the family's use only. And if you want to buy a new gizmo or thingamajig for yourself, you will have to ask my permission. Nope, it's a salary. You're paid straight up, And I really like that. I think
Yeah.
that's the right way to do it because not that there's a right or wrong, but it's a good way to do it rather.
Yeah.
Because it honors the person.
Right.
Whether it's a dad or a mum,
Yeah.
frankly, it honors the person for the work that they do.
I don't have to do time sheet and stuff lah. Don't have lah.
Clock in, clock out.
I woke up at 6 a.m. to make the meal.
For a parent, let's be honest, there's no clocking clock out. You're just a parent.
24/7,
Yeah.
right? 24/7.
You asked for extra because you OT'd.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I cleaned up the vomit today.
It's really interesting though. So like when I had my son, I took a year off. I
Yep.
decided I just wanted to, look after him. And I had also moved to the Philippines at that point.
Okay.
So no friends, no family, no nothing. no income.
Mm.
And then now you have to have this conversation with your partner of like, how am I gonna pay for things, right? Like because I'm so used to like making my own money.
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
my own bank account. I make good money, and then my husband makes good money. And this is the first time I've had
Yes.
to ask him,
Yes.
"Can you give me money?"
Yeah.
And I
How
suddenly
how did that feel?
it felt really weird. Like
how did you ask?
I
Did you
I
do
think,
something first?
So I was
That's good.
I was postpartum, and I was
Right.
like already very emotional, right?
Oh,
Like
okay.
no helper, nothing. I'm at home looking after this baby. He's out the whole day working. So there was a lot of resentment also of like, I moved here for you, but you're not helping me.
Yep.
And I'm going crazy. I've never had a baby before, right? So it was a lot of like, what do you want me to do with nothing?
Oh,
You
so
need to
use the
help
emotion.
me. If you can't be here physically to help me, then
Yeah.
how can you help me in other ways?
Yeah.
Can we have your family come over? Can we have something? You know, can you give me some kind of assistance? And then he was like, I'll get you a card. And I was like, that's good enough. Let's go with that. I'm happy. Sign, done. My name on the card. Cool. But to that point, I don't know if you went through it, but there was resentment, I think, in being the solo parent for such an extended period of time because then when my husband comes along, he doesn't have to be the disciplinarian. He gets to be the fun dad, you know, and only have the good times. And then, of course, by then, my son is sick of me already and only wants my dad. And then I feel like, oh my God, I've spent the whole day literally keeping you alive, keeping you from dying.
And this is my reward.
Feeding you. Yeah, and then
You run
this-
off to daddy and, you know, yeah.
And then to my husband, it's like, that's what I'm expected to do. So how did you go through that and how did you manage it?
It wasn't maybe so stark for me because you know, Jen, because she works 3 days a week, so already she spends, you know, more time than a normal full-time working
Right.
parent would also. So no, we didn't have to navigate that
Wonderful.
in our case. But
Very
I can imagine that would be such a challenge. Such a challenge.
Very lonely. Sounds
It's
very
lonely.
Yeah,
And at the
yeah.
same time, you're just like, I want to be the fun one, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
why can't it be me? I'm the one that like puts in so much work.
Where's my reward, as you
Yeah.
said?
But mine's the other way around. So I jaga the kids and I, you know, bring them all that, the fun one, but then I also take care of them. So for the discipline part, it's always the mother. So it's like if they don't behave, like, later your mother give you Chinese spelling.
You threaten them like
The mommy
that?
thinks here,
Oh my
mommy
goodness.
you 旗帜. Then they will.
Well,
yeah.
maybe that's why your relationship with your wife is like that because you always paint her out to be the bad guy.
He's the bad guy.
Do that. Team, remember? Team.
Team, what? Good cop, bad cop. Yeah, it's a team. That's still a team. Fun cop, bad cop.
Like rush hour, is it? Jackie
right,
Chan.
Yeah,
and-
man. She's the bad one.
So, Andrew, maybe if there's someone who's watching who is thinking about becoming a stay-at-home dad, what's something that you'd like to, any advice that you'd like to give?
Well, there is a difference, I think, between being productive and being fruitful. So being productive is, you know, when you're working, you need to be efficient. There are KPIs, there are targets. You work, and you strive, and you achieve, and you get things done. You produce. You're productive. But being fruitful is an entirely different thing altogether. You don't necessarily have to be productive in order to bear good fruit in your life, and to help other people bear good fruit or be life-giving.
I want to say it's not just about being fruitful though. You are productive because, I mean, if all goes well in the 2 years, you'll have 3, you know, children who've been to university, and they'll be contributing back to the economy. So you are being productive, brother.
But say you don't.
Right.
Say, I mean,
Or let's say they don't go to university.
well,
yeah.
okay, I mean,
Okay, lah,
I
they'll still be
hope.
working. They'll still be working, right?
Well, I mean, let's say though that you know, you're staying at home. Your children, you know, we all have certain dreams and
Right,
hopes, expectations for our children, right? Let's say for one reason or another, that doesn't turn out to be the case.
Right.
You know, something in the plan goes off, and you have
Right.
to resort to not just plan B, C, or D, but plan F or G or Z even, right? Things go bad or not the way you want. So you're not productive in that sense. But you can still bear fruit.
Thank you so much, Andrew, for coming on the show and telling us about your life as a stay-at-home dad. And also, to the viewers, a glimpse into your life.
Fathers, be present. That's
Yeah.
the
Yes.
moral of the story.
Thank you for having me. It was really fun. to chat with
Yeah.
you guys.
So this was the Situation Report. We'll catch you guys on the next episode. Bye.
See ya. Kaki.